NXT took place tonight in Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. This served as the go-home show to Halloween Havoc, which is this Saturday. Now, this was not a Halloween Havoc-themed NXT show. Usually, they do at least one or two Halloween Havoc NXT TV shows. We didn't get that this week, and it's already the 21st, and they did not advertise that next week's NXT will be Halloween Havoc-themed. So, I think we're just going to get a PLE that does not look very good, to be honest. And I'm not sure we're going to get the wheel. There's no Shotzi anymore, so NXT really not having much Halloween spirit. Maybe just due to the lackluster PLE card that they gave us for this Saturday, but we'll get to that when I do my predictions for Halloween Havoc. So the culling started the show, and man, you're just asking for people to turn off Netflix or turn off the CW wherever you're watching around the world when they see the culling go. Fans chant "You deserve it" at Tatum before she's even won anything. Tatum thanks Izzy, then Phil Influence interrupts them. JC has such this nasally, nauseating voice. She sucks. Why is she being pushed so much? They go back and forth. I'm just so sick of Shawn Michaels and his fascination with JC Jane. She sucks. She has no potential in the main roster. Lackluster in the ring. Lackluster on the mic. Doesn't have a particular look that's very aura defining or anything like that. You don't see. She doesn't have superstar potential. No charisma. I don't see why. I just do not understand why she's being pushed this way. She's not good. If she ever going to give her a month title reign, fine. But she's been champion for several months. She's probably been champion in both longer Julia and Stephanie Vaquer were this year combined. I'm just so sick of her as champion. She sucks, man. I really don't like JC Jane. So it led to a brawl and eventually had a tag match later in the show. Stax, Arion, and Grace were backstage, and then we go to Leon Slater and Javon Evans. Backstage, you get Leon Slater and Stax. Leon Slater retains his X Division Championship. Javon Evans comes out and actually challenges him to a match at Halloween Havoc. I guess it would be a rematch from their match at Bound for Glory, which was very well received. But instead, they set up a tag match because Mr. Iguana and Porca, whatever his name is, from AAA come out, and that's all we need. Great. More AAA guys. This whole thing is just filled with TNA, AAA, Evolve. I'm just so tired of this shit, man. What's that show called? LFG. That's all NXT is, man. This doesn't even feel like its own show anymore. It sets up a tag match on Halloween Havoc, which I just don't care about at all. So Zachary went is out next. His friend Wesley was actually just fired, so he's in NXT, but Wesley is not. That's surprising. Then you get the speed match. Zachary wins against Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy wins, unfortunately. They're going to keep pushing this football clunker who sucks. Kalani Jordan was kicked out of the women's locker room, and then Jordan Grace comes to her defense, and they're teasing they're going to do a match for the TNA Knockouts Championship later down the road. Dark State video promo, who cares? But then it becomes a Broken Hardy video, and I guess the Hardys are back to being broken again. We get Broken Matt and Brother Nero, they're back, and the match against Dark State at Halloween Havoc will now be a Broken Rules match, which will fit well with the Halloween Havoc gimmick, so that's actually a good choice. So Rook is walking backstage with her leg in a brace, and she's using she was using crutches to help her get by, and that tells you right there, it looks pretty serious. So Solruk is in the ring with Zarya and Ava, who was there, and she was injured in the match with Charlotte and Alexa when she teamed with Zarya this past Friday, and she lost. She was actually submitted by Charlotte Flair with the figure 8, and Soul is very emotional. She announces she's injured and she's unable to defend her title. And then Blake Monroe interrupts her. She wants the belt. Zarya stands up to her. Soul actually mentioned how Stephanie Vaquer wanted to give more women opportunity, so she gave up the belt. But then Zarya convinces Soul to let her defend her title against Blake at Halloween Havoc, which Soul agrees to. And Zarya then lays out Blake Monroe with a TKO to end the segment. So we get Zarya defending the NXT Women's North American Championship, Sol Ruka's title against Blake Monroe. We get an NXT Anonymous with Josh Briggs talking down to Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights in the locker room. We get a speed match, Axiom against Shawn Legacy. It was pretty entertaining. Axiom won with the run. He won almost at the last second with a Spanish fly from the top. Ethan Page has a video promo on the Day of the Dead match at Halloween Havoc. We get Hank and Tank against OTM. OTM win, then they beat down the former champions. They drive them through the announce table. Ren Sinclair was on the phone, and then Lash Legend was in the lounge with her. Kendall Gray walks in after Lash is talking down to Kendall. She stands up to her. Lash threatens Kendall. Fatal Influence is out next. The announcers previewed Halloween Havoc. Then we get JC Jane and Lainey Reed with Fallon Henley in their corner against Izzy Demon, Tatum Paxley of the Culling. So actually, JC pins Tatum for the win. That was surprising. I was thinking, all right, good. Maybe the belt's going to come off JC on Saturday. Not happening because Tatum actually stands tall and she fights them off after the match. So you have the babyface losing to the champion, but then you also have the challenger, the babyface, standing tall. So make it all make sense. I don't know who's winning. Maybe Shawn Michaels intentionally did that to keep us guessing. I'm not sure. I don't really care that much, to be honest. But Tatum stood tall even though she got pinned by JC. We see Trick Williams and Ricky Saints heading to the ring, and then we get her contract signing. And the first time, and this is rude, but Ava, if she was anyone else's daughter, and I mean anyone else, it can be a legend, someone in WWE, she would not be on TV because she does not look like someone who WWE would ever dare put on TV. Why is this woman on TV? She does not have the face to be on TV. She is just, I'm thinking of stuff. I just don't like her. She's there. She's such a fucking Nepo baby, man. She's such a bad GM, but anyone else's daughter, she would be nowhere near our television screens. So Ricky yells at him after Trick disses him. Trick sucker punches Ricky, but Ricky fights back, and then he drives Trick through the table. And then the announcers, one more time, hype up the Halloween Havoc card to end NXT. I thought it's not an uneventful show. I'm just not looking forward to Halloween Havoc. I felt like they spent too much time on the TNA WWE showdown, and they only had 2 weeks to hype up Halloween Havoc, and it's a lackluster card. And I think that's the big issue here. I'm just not looking forward to Halloween Havoc at all. Usually it's one of my favorite PLEs of the year, and I'm just not feeling it this year. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what the follow is for Halloween Havoc, and hopefully they do end up delivering us a good show on Saturday, but my expectations are not very high, to say the least.